Are you sabotaging your own success in business because you're the bottleneck? Well, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to cover 3 ways to know whether or not you are the bottleneck in your business, and then 7 ways to remove yourself as the bottleneck once and for all so you don't have to worry about sabotaging your own business success. So stay tuned. I'm Liz Chisholm, and in this video, I'm going to cover the 3 ways that you can know whether or not you're the bottleneck in your business. The first one is whether or not you feel like you're overwhelmed, feel like you have too much on your plate, feel like you never have enough time, and you think, if I just could do A, B, and C, I could produce X, Y, Z result. Well, that type of thinking is indication that you are the bottleneck in your business. The next indication of whether or not you're the bottleneck of your own business is that every decision has to go through you. This could be a decision to decide whether or not a Facebook post gets posted, or whether something gets approved. Whatever it is, if you're the end result and you have to make that decision before people can do work or continue on with their work or their project, then you are the bottleneck. The third way to know whether or not you're the bottleneck is if you have this mentality, well, I could just do it myself faster, or it's so easy I can just quickly get it done, or that will only take me 5 minutes, or why can't they do it right? I'll just do it myself. That type of thinking is showing that you are the bottleneck of your business, that you are the keeper of all the knowledge. And what happens is you 5-minute here and 5-minute there, and pretty soon you 5-minute out of successful business practices. And so therefore, you are the bottleneck to your business's success. Don't worry, keep watching, because I will go over 7 ways to actually remove yourself from the bottleneck and scale and grow your business with ease. So the first way to remove yourself as a bottleneck is actually identify what areas are causing bottleneck issues. Identify the problem first. Identify, is it something to do with marketing? Is it something to do with sales? Is it something to do with these specific team members? Figure out exactly where those bottlenecks are showing up, and you'll be much easier to actually remove them versus just trying to, take on the whole elephant all at once. So you want to actually identify the specific ways or the specific areas that you are the bottleneck. Now, once you've identified those areas, you need to start delegating things. You need to get stuff off your plate. So the second way is delegate effectively. This is where you actually don't just say, do this, but you actually give instructions, give training, give all the information that somebody needs to be successful in doing that specific task or responsibility. A lot of times people think of delegating as just saying, do this task. But there's no expectations there, there's no KPIs, there's no understanding of what does it mean when it's done, what does it mean that it's successful, or anything like that. So when you delegate, you want to make sure that you're delegating effectively and that the person you're delegating to fully knows what they are responsible for so they can take ownership of that task and responsibility, and you're not just barking orders all the time. Number 3 is to develop standard operating procedures. These are vital to the success of your business. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, create consistency in your business. They create standards on how you and your employees conduct themselves and do things in your business. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, produce consistency and create reliability on the system instead of on you. So if everything has to go through you, every decision making has to go through you, every idea has to go through you, you have to be the one approving everything, it's because you don't have standard operating procedures on, if this happens, then you do this. This is the workflow, this is how things get done. So what is the process for a customer being unhappy? Does it mean that your employees come to you and say, hey, this customer is unhappy and what do we do? And then you have to create something on the fly? Or do you have a process for responding to and taking care of an unhappy customer? What if the wrong material got delivered to the job? What is the process for getting that fixed? Does that mean you have something else on your plate and now you have to go call somebody and fix this and get the right stuff on the job and everything like that? Or do you have a process on who to contact, how they're supposed to contact, what information they need so that they can actually get the right materials on the job site instead of you being, again, that person who has to do all the extra stuff? Number 4 is empower your team. And the only way you can empower your team is by giving them ownership of a certain responsibility or a task. This is where accountability comes in. When they have accountability over their job and over their responsibilities, then they actually can use their problem-solving skills to solve problems within their scope of work instead of constantly coming to you to be the chief problem solver of your business. One of the key ways that we empowered our admin was to give her a budget of $100. If something costs less than $100, and it was directly related to increasing profit or saving time, then she was allowed to go ahead and purchase that without asking for approval at all. Now, if it was over $100, then that's where she had to come and ask us, hey, this is over $100, this is what I need it for, then we would make a decision whether or not to purchase that. But if it was under $100, then we just let it fly, and it was up to her because we gave her that responsibility and we empowered her to use that responsibility to make those financial decisions to continue the success of our business. Number 5 is to focus on training. Now, so often people confuse the fact that, oh, I have an SOP, I have a standard operating procedure, therefore I don't need to do training. But that is not the case. That is like saying you have a driver's manual on how to drive and everything that will be on the driver's test, except you've never taught somebody how to drive a car. If nobody has driven a car before, reading that manual on what a stop sign means is not going to help them whether or not they know what pedal to push when a stop sign happens, or how fast to push it, or how slow to push it, or if they're learning a stick shift. All those types of things are training that goes into driving a car, and the manual is to make sure that we're all being trained the same way. So we all stop at the stop sign, we all have a green light, and we all go. Those create standards for safe driving, but that doesn't excuse the fact that we still need to learn how to drive in the first place. Number 6 is to automate and streamline your business operations. So look at everything that you're doing and see what you need to either automate, put in some type of software of some sort to actually automate that process, or streamline it to make it easier. So often in business, we do all of this fluff and all of these things that don't actually produce results. And we follow the 80-20 rule in the opposite way of it being successful, meaning that we do the 80% and we're only getting 20% results. We want to actually analyze everything that we're doing and say, okay, what is the 20% that we're doing that's producing the 80% results? And then we need to do more of that 20%. So this is where the automation comes into play. This is where streamlining comes into play. What can be eliminated, removed, delegated, so that way you're really focusing on just that 20%. And like I said in the beginning, you're not 5-minuting your way out of actually running your business successfully. You know, because it's 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, and excuse me, do you have a minute? And oh, could you just look at this real quick? And I have a quick question. And all of a sudden you have no time because you focused on that 80%, which all those questions may be legitimate questions, but they could be answered through SOPs and standard operating procedures. And then you can focus on that 20% that can really make your business grow and thrive and scale with ease. And last but not least, number 7 is to find a coach or a mentor that can help you find where the bottlenecks are in your business. Bottlenecks are one of those things that's really hard to see from the person who's being the bottleneck. They look around, they're like, okay, everything seems to be going okay, or, you know, I'm not working that much, or I've only been answering a few questions. And so they don't actually notice how much time they're spending doing things that could be removed from their plate so that they could focus on the things that they need to, or they may not even know how to do that. So this is where it's really important to find a mentor, find a coach, find somebody who actually knows how to do systems, knows how to get yourself removed from the bottleneck so you can grow and scale with ease. Now, this is where I come in, because I'm Liz Chisholm, and that's exactly what I do. I help business owners remove themselves from being the bottleneck of their business. I help them scale and grow their business. I help them scaling back their time, not increasing their time working the business while increasing their profits in their business, but actually having their business function without them in a better manner than it would be if they were there all the time, 24/7, trying to do everything themselves, but actually training their staff, empowering their employees, doing all the things so that they can grow and scale with ease, and not just grow their revenue, but increase their profits. So if you need help stopping the bottleneck of your business, you need help putting systems into place, then just click the link below and schedule a call with me. And I'd love to chat to see how I can help you identify a few key areas so that you can actually grow and scale your business without growing and scaling your time. Now, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click that bell so you can be notified every time I put out videos, because I love helping business owners create successful businesses, but also create businesses that don't depend on them 100%. And they depend on systems, because systems can scale and grow your business with ease. I'll see you in the next video.